It has begun. Welcome to Fnaftober, where every year I talk about something completely antithetical to my normal videos, to see if anyone who watches me is here for me or for Kingdom Hearts. It's FNAF time, baby! FNAF has gone through a lot of changes in the last year, and it seems like Arc 2 is over. It feels like we're inching closer and closer to a new Five Nights at Freddy's story. So this month, before the second movie comes out in December, I'm going to try and explain Arc 2 of Five Nights at Freddy's. So let's get started. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Vanessa. Vanessa had a very messy childhood. Her father Bill was abusive and manipulative. He forced her to lie in court, to say horrible things about her mother. And after the case was closed, she lived with her father. He got custody, and her mother took her own life. To say Vanessa was emotionally vulnerable would be an understatement. Eventually, Vanessa grew up, and she got away from her dad, and she got a new job. This is the beginning of Modern Fnaf. After decades of pain and suffering, things in Utah went back to normal. All the robots melted away, all the souls were set free, and everyone involved with Freddy's was dead. The stories seemed to fall into urban legend. No one knew what rumors were true. Was there really a rotting corpse burning old restaurants down one by one? Did Henry Emily burn himself alive and destroy a bunch of ghost robots? Did a bunch of kids really die? What order did they die in? Did a man go to prison? It wasn't clear, and the rumors had no evidence. Everyone was missing obvious pieces of evidence. It was just a true crime story that faded into legend. Maybe we made it all up. Maybe it was all real. Maybe everyone was making this shit up at every turn, and people assumed the wrong things, ignored evidence to make money, and created characters out of nothing because they didn't give a shit anymore. Who knows? They pretended to retire and enjoy their millions of dollars. All that mattered is that the people loved these stories. People remembered going to the restaurant, so someone was hired to create games based on this true story. Five Nights at Freddy's was a strange little set of indie games that used humor and horror in just a few hours to try and confuse the public. The success of these games and the purchase of the IP allowed Freddy Fazbear's to return, bigger and better than ever. Freddy's became a corporate juggernaut and began to sift through all the old junk left behind in these ruined pizzerias. Circuit boards, old mascot suits, prototype robots from some sort of circus, a sinkhole with an old restaurant in it, a blood-red lake in the center of caverns. Some of these legends had to be true. Maybe it was all bullshit, but it was a cool place to work, so Vanessa joined up. She became a beta tester, testing out a new VR game called Help Wanted. It was a horror game that combined the three finished games, Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, and 3, and the one that wasn't finished, FNAF 4. It combined all of them into an incredibly scary masterpiece that was so much better than those old games made by a guy who was great at modeling, but bad at programming, optimizations, and definitely PR. So Vanessa tested the game. Day after day, she tested, she played, and she soon discovered something strange. A weird bunny man beckoning to her. A bunch of cassette tapes hidden in different levels. The minigames were fun, but there was a compelling story hidden in this game. Soon, Vanessa was losing herself in the game. She needed to escape her real life, to distract herself with scares, childhood nostalgia, and mystery. Eventually, she found 16 tapes, each one more compelling than the last. The woman on the tapes spoke about a lot of things. The tapes weren't in order, but Vanessa gathered them all together in secret. It seems that the client that hired these people hired them to scan a bunch of old circuit boards from the old pizzeria. So the pizzeria must be real. Maybe some of the things were wrong in those games, but the events must have been real. At first, the tape girl was worried, talking about the rabbit watching her. There was a man named Jeremy. He seemed to be possessed, talking to someone in the room who wasn't there, rocking back and forth, tormented by the strange rabbit. Eventually, he covered himself with ink and sliced his face off with a pizza slicer. Surprisingly, he survived, and eventually, he even tried to sue the company. This rabbit was trying to escape the game. He was real. So Tape Girl took the data that made up this strange ghostly AI, and she separated it, fragmented it. She hid the data inside the tapes, and hid the tapes across the game. By the time she realized that the tapes would compel anyone who finds them to collect them and put them back in order to understand the story, Tape Girl realized this was a bad idea. And she had an even worse idea, a terrible idea. Maybe it was her idea, or maybe the glitch was already in her mind. Maybe it wasn't even her saying it on the recording, but she told whoever found the tapes to gather them all and let the glitch possess them. Only in that last moment could they shut the game down and destroy this digital demon once and for all. Vanessa did all she could. She risked it all. Maybe she thought this was part of the game. Maybe she was already under its control. Maybe she really did want to destroy it. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, because Glitch Trap entered her mind. She was now at war with herself, and things were going to get a lot worse. Next week, we will learn about how Vanessa became Vanny. We will learn who Patient 46 is, and realize that Modern Fnaf is way better written than the old Fnaf, and is definitely going to become an awesome movie one day. They're definitely going to make like 15 movies, man, and I can't fucking wait. Anyway, I'm Maloney the Bard, and I'm going to try to stream this game real soon, so start following. Thanks for listening. Bye. Whew, I am so excited for this month. We're going to talk about FNAF for the next few weeks. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch in 13 days. I'm super excited. And don't worry, I'll come back to talk about Kingdom Hearts. I'm currently writing a video about Naminé and the Meteor Shower, but I need a lot of time to piece together all the evidence on that one. So if you like this video and you didn't watch me explain FNAF perfectly last year, here's a video about that I called The Truth About Evan Afton. Apparently, according to Hyperdroid, his name is Dave, and you know what? I like it. I was never really sure about Evan, and CC wasn't widely used back then. But anyway, there's a video about him. Here's a video YouTube thinks you would like. I'll see you loners later. Bye.